He delivered a technical masterpiece that left the BGT judges in tears, but alternative rock purists are calling it an absolute artistic sin. Matty Juniosa took Radiohead's Sacred Anthem Creep and completely refashioned it into a grand Broadway-level spectacle. Discover the explosive clash between raw 90s indie idealism and flawless theatrical perfection that is currently dividing the global music industry. A clash of two music civilizations on a grand stage. When the stage lights of Britain's Got Talent 2026 dimmed and the iconic opening notes of Radiohead's Creep began to play, a new historical milestone and a fierce pop culture battle line were officially drawn. Matty Juniosa, the vocal gladiator pride of Asia, chose a track considered deeply sacred by millions of alternative rock purists worldwide for his most crucial competitive stage. The performance instantly fractured global public opinion into two heavily polarized camps, firing incredibly sharp narratives at one another. On one side, millions of television viewers and musical theater enthusiasts hailed it as the most genius, emotionally driven reinterpretation in the history of modern reality talent shows. Conversely, the hardcore alternative rock community immediately took offense, fiercely venting their anger across various internet forums.
For these purists, what Matty executed on stage that night was not a brilliant achievement, but a massive artistic sin that completely violated the core essence of a song that has served as the ultimate anthem for social outcasts for over 3 decades. The sacred identity of Creep for the alternative culture. To fully comprehend why these alternative rock purists were so deeply enraged, one must first dissect the historical and emotional value that Creep holds within the 90s alternative rock culture. Released by Radiohead in 1992, the track was written by Thom Yorke as an unbrutally honest reflection of raw frustration, deep depression, social alienation, and intense self-loathing. The original character of the song lies precisely in its structural imperfection. Thom Yorke's vocals sound intentionally fragile, detached, slightly messy, and bursting with suppressed internal rage. For the idealist rock community, Creep represents a sacred sanctuary where human weakness and personal failure are celebrated raw, without any need for aesthetic polishing. It was intentionally engineered to be the complete antithesis of the mainstream pop industry, which constantly demands visual and vocal perfection. Therefore, when this track was dragged onto a commercial juggernaut like BGT, purists felt their holy territory had been heavily invaded by corporate greed. A rebellion against a god-tier, flawless vocal execution.
Irony peaked when the primary catalyst for the rock purists' anger turned out to be Matty Juniosa's greatest artistic asset, his flawless, god-tier opal technique. Throughout his performance, Matty executed every single note with unbelievable diaphragmatic support, seamless head-voice transitions, and exceptionally clean, razor-sharp commercial belting. For Broadway musical theater lovers, this was a technical masterpiece deserving of the absolute highest praise. However, for alternative rock purists, Matty's pristine vocal perfection completely stripped the track of its genuine soul. They passionately argued that an anthem centered on profound insecurity and crushing depression should never be sung with such a highly trained, magnificent, and sterile technique. They judged that Matty focused too heavily on flaunting his impossible vocal range, thereby erasing the raw, unpolished, and gritty pain that is supposed to serve as the lifeblood of Creep. The theatrical dramatization versus gritty, untamed artbreak. The bitter debate escalated heavily when analyzing the dramatic theatrical stage presence and musical arrangement brought forth by Matty. Backed by a strong academic foundation from the Royal Conservatory of Scotland, Matty delivered Creep with highly structured musical theater dynamics, complete with intense facial expressions, and a grand climax supported by a powerful backing choir.
Presenter TV host. For rock purists, this sheer grandiosity was viewed as a ridiculous hyperbole or overdramatization that rendered the emotional core of the song entirely fake. They compared it harshly to Radiohead's original version, which is deliberately dry, cold, and relies on the abrasive guitar distortions of Johnny Greenwood to channel anger. Idealist rock fans felt that Matty's musical theater arrangement transformed an intimate lamentation of depression into an over-polished pop anthem tailored for mass television consumption, as if it were being staged for a commercial Disney production. a bitter cyber war across Reddit and X platforms. The profound ripple effect of this cultural clash triggered an absolute war of words across digital platforms like the BGT subreddit, Radiohead, and X. Discussion forums that usually focused on the technicalities of the television competition overnight transformed into an aesthetic battleground, pitting fanatical Matty loyalists against hardcore Radiohead purists. The rock purist camp launched vicious critiques, branding Matty's performance a sacrilegious desecration of art, and claiming that commercial judges like Simon Cowell and Amanda Holden fundamentally misunderstood the essence of alternative rock when showering it with praise. On the flip side, millions of Matty's global supporters fiercely struck back, arguing that art is entirely universal and open to radical reinterpretation.
Matty's defenders asserted that as an openly queer immigrant youth who once worked hard as a Glasgow waiter, Matty held every right to feel the alienation within Creep and express it through his own grand style. The theater counter-defense, a brilliant reinterpretation. Standing firmly outside the anger of idealist rock fans, musical theater experts and entertainment industry analysts stepped up to defend Matty with incredibly powerful aesthetic arguments. They stated that the absolute highest duty of a theatrical vocalist is not to lazily mimic the original singer, but to deliver a profound reinterpretation, retelling a musical story through a fresh, updated lens. Through a theatrical framework, what Matty achieved was pure dramatic genius. He successfully took a dark, insular alternative rock track and transformed it into a grand narrative of personal triumphs on a global stage. Matty's rare ability to inject a sense of majestic emotion into a deeply depressing track was hailed as an extraordinary artistic innovation. The theater community argued that demanding Matty sing with a grunge or detached attitude a la Thom Yorke was foolish, as his greatest strength lies precisely within his grand theatrical vocal technique. The corporate commercialization of counterculture music. The heavy backlash from alternative rock purists was not merely directed at Matty Juniosa as an individual artist, but rather at the modern television industry system like BGT as a whole.
The independent music and alternative rock communities share a long, historic resentment toward the commercialization of idealist music by massive corporate machines. They view Simon Cowell's reality talent stage as a corporate assembly line that frequently devalues progressive artistic works into instant commercial pop products solely to chase high ratings and financial profit. For purists, the song Creep remains a historic symbol of rebellion against mainstream pop culture. When that very song is polished beautifully, given a massive spotlight, and showered with praise by commercial television executives, rock purists feel that the counterculture identity of the anthem has been domesticated, neutered, and thoroughly hijacked by entertainment capitalism. Historical comparisons to other legendary global covers. In an attempt to mediate this burning aesthetic debate, several senior music critics published analytical essays comparing Matty Juniosa's rendition to other prominent global artists who have covered Creep over the years. They referenced Prince's legendary historical cover at the 2008 Coachella Festival, as well as the melancholic jazz rendition by Scott Bradley's Postmodern Jukebox. These analyses highlighted that Creep stands as one of the most covered songs in global history, spanning wildly contrasting genres.
Music critics argued that the deep rejection of Matty's musical theater version is completely natural because rock purists' ears are permanently attached to the original 1992 distorted version. However, history consistently proves that the most enduring cover songs are those brave enough to break entirely free from the shadow of the original vocalist. From this perspective, Matty's version successfully carved out a powerful new identity tied to his operatic character. An algorithmic goldmine, fueled by cultural controversy. From a digital content business perspective, the fierce polarization and anger of alternative rock purists turned out to be an extraordinary blessing for Matty Juniosa's internet popularity. The algorithms of YouTube, TikTok, and X deeply prioritize user interaction fueled by public controversy and conflicting viewpoints. The more rock purists produced critical video essays or wrote essays in the comment section, the higher the overall engagement rate climbed for Matty's performance videos. Consequently, Matty's Creep video on BGT 2026 experienced an astronomical, exponential surge in global viewership, even outpacing the traffic metrics of his initial audition video within the same timeframe.
This intense aesthetic controversy accidentally acted as a massive free global promotional campaign, introducing Matty Juniosa's name directly to a massive community of alternative rock purists who historically would never tune in to watch a commercial reality talent show on television. Art as an unbounded domain free from rigid rules. Ultimately, the phenomenon of alternative rock purists throwing a massive tantrum over Matty Juniosa's performance offers a beautiful lesson regarding the true nature of art. Music remains a boundless domain of absolute freedom, possessing no rigid rules, structural borders, or exclusive ownership by any single communal group. Thom Yorke may have penned Creep with raw, isolated pain inside a tiny recording studio, but once a masterpiece is released to the global public, it belongs to anyone who feels it in their bones. Matty Juniosa, armed with his history of personal struggle, queer identity, and elite academic theater training, expressed his own sense of alienation in the absolute best way he knew how. This heated global debate proves one definitive reality: Matty successfully jolted public emotion on a massive scale. When a performance can trigger such profound aesthetic discussions across different generations and cultures, that is exactly where a singer transcends being a mere contestant and becomes a true artist.